Right, how's it going, lads? Spaceman here. So we're back for a brand new video. Now today we're going to be breaking down the UFC, my best bets for UFC Saudi Arabia, the fight night between Israel Adesanya and Imavov. Let's just talk about the elephant in the room. Last week, or well, 2 weeks ago, when I'm technically bringing this out, but 311 was not very good. We only really landed one underdog. That was Rab. Back of the week lost, and the favourites lost to Renya Nakamura and Kevin Holland. Kevin Holland, terrible, didn't perform how I expected. Now he has Gunnar Nelson, he can just walk through him. I realistically don't know what the matchmaker for that card is, but fuck it, get him a win, keep him in the UFC. Still a fan favourite, but if we keep moving on, Renya, he just shit the bed. That was the worst performance I've seen from a prospect. Well, besides playing top on the same card. And in that light, we did win 160 quid on Randy Bias. I don't. The forfeit came in because somehow he won at 7-1. But we will get down to the main forfeit of this one, which is this stupid hot chip challenge. So I have to be able to last. I think there's rules on the back of it. There's definitely some sort of rules. Right, yeah. Put the glove on, open carefully, eat it. Can you handle it without 5 minutes of drinking and okay, well look, we'll do it for 5 minutes. I'll do the actual challenge. I set a timer on my phone. I'll set a fucking timer on my phone just to see. I'll put on the glove. I'll follow the rules. This looks strange. We have milk here. I can break this when I want, but we'll see. Can I get through it? I don't know why they sent me a glove. Also, I have a hair and a timer here on my phone. I can actually smell this getting hotter as I'm holding it. So right, we'll just go down to it. Let's get done. Right, 3, 2, 1, go. I got it. Yeah, it's hot. Oh, jeez, that's hot. Um, Strange taste off it. I can't really lie about that. To be honest, I'm not sure why there's a 5 minute burn. I don't think this will affect me that much. It's not even realistically that bad. Bit of spice, but no. Right, there you go. As you can hear that, there's my alarm going off. Let me just drink some milk and we'll just get back to this video. Let's get down back into it. Last week wasn't good. I'll admit wasn't good. This week I'm thinking of smashing it. There's one way that you could call this card, and this is always going to be a fact. If you are by the Islamic religion, have a beard, you're always going to win over there. We saw what the Paul Hughes fight. Paul Hughes was robbed badly, but I can't do. Point taken, it still loses. The full fight, I don't agree with that. I think Paul Hughes won the last three. But I'm not here to talk with this. I'm here to get down to the lock of the week.
Professional record, 16 wins, no losses. He stands 60 towards the tall, weighing in at 1.
Right, so here is the lock of the week. Israel, the last style better on Adesanya. I played it safe this week. I think it's kind of nailed on from to win the fight. I don't really understand Imavov in this position. He's won his last two, he's lost his last two, fine. But I mean, there isn't a massive between like his wins. It was only kind of a sloppy Brendan Allen fight where past the third round his poor cardio appeared and Brendan Allen started to catch him a lot more in the feet. and and that win over Jerry Cannonier where the stoppage was strange. It was one of those ones where he wasn't really out, but he kind of was out on the feet, and then you're kind of wondering he could have stopped it a few punches ago and put it a bit too late. But okay, they're fair wins. It's over 40-year-old Jerry Cannonier's lost his last two fights to Galballo and Dimov, obviously, but it is a fighter coming off two losses. And the Brendan Allen fight, I think Brendan Allen won that fight. To be honest, I thought he took the last 3 rounds. I think he was robbed personally in that fight. But fair enough. We'll keep it going. I just think Israel has the better striking. Israel has the better striker. He's still more fluent. He's still just someone who has 5 rounds. Pace, speed, like he doesn't really lose too much. Even in his two losses, Deshaun when he didn't appear okay, and then Indirakas, he did well. He took 2 rounds solidly on the feet. It's just his poor grappling that took him down. Now I know even Oscar grappling will probably be the question in this one. I just don't think he has that good grappling to take down Adesanya. People act like he's been taken down by everyone, or his grappling surgery. He really hasn't, and I don't think even off someone who can break that. I think Israel will get the finish inside this fight. I think he gets the KO from rounds 3, 4, 5 is what I'm going to pick. I will also have a few other prop bets in this video just because that's what the favorites are going to be. But we're going to go with Israel Adesanya as the lock. Now I want to actually bring in a new segment to where we're going to try and take 10 of your currency is the 250. So this is going to be the big cheese wheel bet this week. It's going to be no distance in the Israel Adesanya fight. I think at 13 to 10, this is extremely good. As I just said, I think Izzy's going to finish him. So with this, we're going to take the €10 and we're going to try go double it every single week. So if that 23 lands, we have to try double that to 46, and so on and so forth. We'll see how good it goes. We'll see how it goes. Right, so here we are now inside the favourites. Now these are going to be debatably picked. I think the favourites on these cards are very odd, but I'm going to go with Jamal Pooks, who fights Alahabi the Hammer. Mahad Al Wabwi. So, look, this is called the Hammer. To be honest, Jamal Pokes has picked up some good wins. Like he's only lost to McPerkin in the UFC, who is a very capable heavyweight. He is definitely the next top 15 guy. And that's his only really loss. He beat Thomas Pearson and Josh Parisian, both by decision. Okay, he's a bit of a decision machine. I've seen his fights. They're not that impressive. A lot of them are 2 to 3 years ago, and then a no contest 2 years ago, no contest but decision because he popped for steroids afterwards for 2 years. He's been out. Ring rust, I think, is going to play a big part in it. To be honest, he has power, El Wabdi, but I think Jamal Pokes he kind of is one of the more not top 15, but maybe like top 20 of the heavyweight division that kind of just has it all well rounded. Like there isn't really one part of his game where I'd say, oh, he's struggles with. He just doesn't have that top, skill set for 15, top 15. I'm going to go with Jamal Pogues. I'm just going to go with decision. He always goes for decision, but we're just going to take my 10 to 11. The next one is Bogdan Grad fighting Lucas Alexander. Now, Bogdan Grad's an interesting one because I did think he looked really, really good in the Contender Series, but I've put him here just because I don't think the opponent did for him against Lucas. Lucas Alexander's very good. I've watched all of his regional stuff. I could find one of his UFC fights. He fights very straightforward. He find him straight up. He's kind of like a Pereira almost. And it's one of those ones where I could see Bogdan Grad being able to maybe use those kicks to his advantage to break down legs. Maybe some of the spinning kicks might land. He leaves his head about in the center line as well with throw with the straight up stuff. I think he could be caught. I think the grappling it is even between the two of them. It probably goes to Lucas Alexander, but I don't think he's going to hit the mat too much. I think this will be probably a fun kickboxing fight, a good stand-up battle, and I think Bogdan Grad sneaks the decision. On the next one, we go Terence McKenney. I know this is going to be under 1.5 because it's a fun fact between the two who are fighting here. Huskov versus T-Rex over versus McKenney is an interesting one because I'll be 100% honest. These two, from Terence McKenney's 22 fights, he's gone past the first round 4 times. Point that I'm trying to make here is Terence McKenney cannot fight past the first round. He just zaps everything after the first round. They all get goals in the first round, so we're going to take that 4 to 11. And then what I have here is a fight not to go the distance. We're going to go with the Blob versus Thomas Peterson. I'm confused with the matchmaking here because I thought the Blob was pretty close to top 15. I think he even is in top 15. I don't think Thomas Peterson has done a massive amount on his company debut and in the contenders to really get a fight like this. And I understand the Blob has notoriously poor cardio, but it's a surprising record that he's finished a lot of his opponents. I actually was surprised by that because, you know, the Martin Boudet finish okay, but then he's got Greg Veraskensko on the first round. Then he finished everyone else in the region seeing the first round besides one decision. So look, I don't think Thomas Peterson is good enough to get this fight. I just think they wanted to get the Blob on a Saudi card. I don't think that he's anywhere near good enough to realistically be in the octagon, and I think the Blob submits him, but I'm not going to go with that 100%. We now move over to the underdogs. Now we have four underdogs this time. We're picking four of them. Um, I think we'll start with Vinicius Oliveira. Vinicius Oliveira was actually very, very close to losing his debut when he was Brandon Such. I think it was 2 rounds up and out, and not comfortable. But I think he was 2 rounds up. Then he gets hit with the best knockout of the Apex last with the double switch knee, just folds him, and then Vinicius Oliveira has then also taking out Ricky Simone, who we've seen at 311 being a big problem. That he's a hard man to put away, and he's someone that stays on you. He is fighting Sad Nurmagomedov, who's 18-3. My main kind of reason for not picking like this in a sense is that I just feel the downfall is still going to keep happening to the Nurmagomedovs. They should have had a loss last weekend, and I don't think it's going to be much different. He did take out Murin Gulov in his last win 2 years ago. That's the Turk who won the weekend, lost to Jonathan Martinez. He seems to be able to jump up to certain levels, then drop straight back down. So what I'm thinking realistically is he actually has a win over Justin Scoggins. Right? Anyways, I think the way that I'm going to look at this fight, if I'm being realistic, is I think Vinicius Oliveira is just it's ring rust. And that's all I'm going to say. I just think it's ring rust. I think Vinicius Oliveira, Clay Carpenter should have probably done something last week with that sort of movement how it was going, but he didn't. I think Vinicius Oliveira will be completely different. I think he'll come out with the traps. He'll look to have a fire fight, and I think he'll win. I see the issue if this goes to decision. I think he's going to be robbed, but I'm going to go hopefully to give him the decision. I can't guarantee anything in Saudi, but this is just one I'm looking at. So next one is Michael Venom Page. Look, I'm picking MVP. I don't honestly believe that Sure Bullet has beaten anyone that's actually that good, if I'm being honest. Like, look, he gets all the hype, he has one eye, and he's killing people. But if you actually watch these with a closer lens and didn't listen to people on Twitter who think the Russians can't do anything wrong, they weren't brilliant. Like Anthony Cole one, he looked very gassed after the second round. He does get the finish in the third, but it's to Tricoli. Then he fights Michael Olajicek, who he doesn't finish, and I think this man has 6 submission losses. Like he's been submitted by Michelle Pereira, Kevin Holland, Kenny Ochek. He knocked out Kenny Ochek. Like he's been submitted by Kai Bahalio. These are all fair enough people to be submitted by, but you know what I mean. How does this side get the fight with Sure Bullet, and how does Sure Bullet not finish him? It's a cardio issue for me. I don't think he's has the cardio that can really push levels. And then Armin Petrusian, that was a strange fight. I don't really understand how he was still anywhere near the rankings, and you could just give him an easy setup win to make him look better. In MVP's fights, he's outstruck Kevin Holland and Ian Gary. He just, got taken down very basically at Ian Gary. And to be honest, I don't know if Sure Bullet can actually take him down after the first round. If Kevin, if MVP is able to stay in this first round and stay with him, strike with him, get him nervous. I'm not sure about this shotty cardio keeping up to be able to take him down for the whole 3 rounds because he's gassed very easily in strange fights. Like, I think he might throw too much in strikes, maybe. I don't know, but it's just one of those ones where I can see MVP taking it. I can see MVP finishing him. So, on to the next one, we go with How do you say this? Fazalam. Zelam, I'm just gonna call him Zelam. Zelam over here, he was actually cut from the UFC and then came back, and he's just been on there since. He took out Jai Herbert, he took out Claudio Patelas, he took out Matt Frola with that knee in France. really, really good. Mike Davis Beast Boy is an interesting one because I think in this exchange he definitely has the grappling advantage in the height and power district, but I think on the feet they're very level. Mike's fast, but so is Zim. I think if you're really thinking like who'd be more dangerous on the ground, I still say it's Zim. I think if he grabs the back, he'll definitely look to finish the fight. I think he's definitely a way more rounded one. I'm picking him more because I think there's a decision coming of a bit of a robbery because of the judging over there, and you know he is one of the league candidates to get the robbery, and there's no point to saying otherwise because you know we've seen it. That Ronent Shakab fight where he literally lost all 3 rounds and still won it was ridiculous. But on to Marabana Silva then as the last pick of this one for the underdogs. I just don't think Jasmine Jasvidicius is that good, to be honest. I really don't think she's able to beat any woman when she kind of jumps up. And look, I understand Marabana Silva has been on the losing end of her last 2 fights, but that is to Raquel Pellington and Missy Chapson with the cut, which was bad and fair enough, need to be stopped. And I know her Holly Holm fight was overturned because she popped, but that was still the standing submission of Holly Holm, which was really, really good. Now again, you could say her record's not very good. She's only beaten Stephanie Eager, Lena Lansbury. She's lost to Mern Farrow, which is nothing to be ashamed about. That's no. I just think the grappling advantage is definitely going to be Marabana Silva's. She definitely has the better stand-up. I just don't see how Jazz Davicius wins this. I just think every time Jazz Davicius pushes up, she loses to the top sort of stuff. Like she lost to Tracy Cortez, she lost to Natia Silva. Every time she kind of pushes up, she loses to some people who are above her, which you don't expect it to, but it happens. So I'm going to go with Marabana Silva. That's going to be the underdogs, and let's just push into the ACA. So if you go Jamal Pogues, rounding up under 1.5 in this fight here, and go with Keys, no distance, you should get back 76-23. So that's going to be Yeka this week. We're going to go with that. We're going to hope that lands. We're going to hope that the lock lands and the big cheese wheel bet lands as well. The big cheese bet lands is kind of, you know, one that I'd like to start with. So, yeah. If you did enjoy the video, please hit the like button and hit the subscribe button. I'll do a full predictions for this as well in probably the next day or two. I'll break it down, I'll go over everything again, might even do a best props. But anyways, if you did enjoy the video, please hit the like button. If you're new, hit the subscribe button. I'll see you next one. Peace.